The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
From Hollywood, California, by way of the Broken Skull Ranch, this is the Steve Austin Show.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Now, here's Steve Austin.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Steve Austin Show. I'm coming to you from South Texas here at the Broken Skull Ranch. Hershey the Wonder Dog is sleeping right in front of me, laying down on the bed. She has been hunting her fool head off for about 6 weeks. Every single time I go to a deer stand, this old trusty dog is with me, and we've been doing this together for about 9 years. 10 if you want to count the year I spent down there in Cotulla when I bought her. My faithful hunting companion, Hershey the Wonder Dog. I tell you what, I don't know who's more tired, her or me. God dang, man. Hope everybody had a good Christmas. We did down here at the Broken Skull Ranch. We all loaded up, well, my wife and I, Hershey and Moolah, our chocolate and silver lab, and headed down to Victoria, my old stomping grounds, where I used to live. You know, that's why they used to say Stone Cold Steve Austin from Victoria, Texas, because I used to live there. And we had a pretty damn good gathering. All my family was there, my mother, my father, all my brothers and my sister, and we're just thankful they're all still around, all getting along pretty good. All my nephews, my nieces, and all my other family was there. And we had kind of a non-traditional Christmas, you know. It wasn't like it was turkey and dressing and mashed potatoes and green bean casseroles and sweet potato casseroles. Man, it was enchilada casserole, tamales, some queso cheese dip, some other kind of dip, some beans. Of course, there was some Mexican rice. So that's the kind of Christmas dinner we had. And Mexican food is my favorite food in the world. So since I'm not such a big turkey guy, man, I made out like a bandit. I made a big-ass to-go plate. It was probably about 9,000 calories. And then my wife on the DL, on the kayfabe to all my brothers and sisters, snuck me 24 tamales that a close friend of ours had made there at their house. I didn't share my 24 tamales with nobody. And when I eat my tamales, I eat them with ketchup and a glass of milk. I'm telling you, those things ain't very healthy. But you talk about taste good, mister. I am in hog heaven. And by the time I get back to the mean streets of Los Angeles, specifically Marina Del Rey, I'll be fat as a damn hog. Hitting the gym, trying to train it off. I'll tell you what. What's going on in my life, the remodel continues at 316 Gimmick Street. Turns out, builder ran into a couple of issues. A couple of things we ordered were on back order. We got to wait. So, all of a sudden, we thought we was going to spend our Christmas vacation here at the ranch, and then when we roll back to Los Angeles, everything would be ready, and we would just move back into our house. However, that is not the case. So I told my wife, I said, man, I tell you what, we're going to have to spend an extra 2 months in South Texas. That's going to be heaven for me. Actually, I'm ready to get back to Los Angeles because I'm working too hard out here. Well, that didn't work out so good for my wife because she's been 6 to 8 weeks without her Zumba class and all of her workout classes and seeing her friends since she's a little bit more social than me. So we thought of the next best thing. Our next door neighbors are moving out of their house because they're moving to Napa Valley. So turns out we signed a short-term lease to the house next door to 316 Gimmick Street for 2 to 3 months while they finish construction on our home. Ah, dang. I ain't never remodeled nothing my entire life. My wife has been doing all the permits, doing all the planning, talking with the designer, talking with the builder, talking to the guy who, what's he called, the structural engineer, talk about shear walls, all this BS, which is just like a foreign language to me. All I'm doing is helping write the checks. Well, actually, my wife writes the checks too. So I'm just sitting there like a bump on a log wondering when it's going to get done. But God dang, at least we was able to get the house next door rather than try to rent another house in a different neighborhood, rent a condo, stay down here in South Texas. Damn, hunting season is going to be over. We done taken all the deer just about that we've needed to take by the time we leave here anyway. So I'm ready to get back to Los Angeles. I appreciate you guys listening to the podcast. for the past 3 some odd years that I've been doing this damn thing. I sure appreciate it because it gives me an outlet. It gives me something to talk about. It gives me a way to stay in touch with my fan base that I created, over, 20, 25, 30 years ago through a body of professional wrestling, some BS acting. But now the podcast is probably one of my favorite things to do, along with hosting the Broken Skull Challenge. And that thing's going to wrap up in a extreme fashion. Don't miss the last 2 episodes, but I tell you what, I've been trying hard to stick with these podcasts down here at the ranch. This is where I work the hardest, where I try to catch up to all the work that we should have got done over the year. But since I live in Los Angeles, when we come out here, it's mowing, it's taking care of the deer herd, it's feeding, doing all the repairs. And it's so time extensive that, man, I ain't got time for nothing. My workouts have suffered. I think my podcasts, some of them could have been a little bit better. But when I get back to Los Angeles, I've got a bunch of new guests coming up. I'm going to get back in and start talking some more professional wrestling, which I think those are my favorite guests to have on the show. I enjoy talking to people from all walks of life. I especially enjoy talking to a lot of the stand-up comedians. I've got a couple of them booked on the show, and some people from the music world as well. But really, truly, and to be completely honest with you, it is very hard to try to do any quality research on someone that you're going to try to interview for a podcast, because my work day starts at 5:20 when the alarm clock goes off. We get out into a deer stand, and then we start working on projects such as the corral project that you'll hear about later on in the podcast, back in the deer stand, and then it's dark, so you just want to have a cocktail, eat dinner, visit with your family and your friends that come over to see you, and then it just starts over. It's an endless cycle, and it lasts for 2.5 months. So I appreciate the patience that you guys have shown me while I try to slug through the back end of 2016 and looking into 2017. I'll tell you what, I had my shoulder rebuilt last year, in 16. I was sure hoping that don't have anything rebuilt in 2017, and really it's a little bit better year than 2016 was. A little bit of a rough year, and I think it probably was for a lot of people. If it was a good year for you, then hopefully your 2017 will be a good one as well. I'm going to eat a truckload of black-eyed peas on New Year's Eve. That's one of those things. It's probably a superstition. Maybe it's a tradition that you're supposed to eat black-eyed peas on New Year's Eve to bring in a great new year. Here's to hoping 2017 is a little bit better for us than it was in 2016. But I ain't going to sit here and piss and moan, because it wasn't a bad year at all if you look at it all in its totality. Hey, man, it's enough of me flapping my gums. I got so much stuff going on here at the ranch. I'm fixing to take a shower. I smell like a deer and a hog combined. I need to shave and put some deodorant on and brush and floss my teeth. That's what I'm about to do. I've been hunting all morning long. We was out there cleaning deer. Was out there processing stuff and taking stuff, getting it ready to take to the butcher shop. So everything's going good at the Broken Skull Ranch. But I'm ready to get back to Los Angeles here in a couple weeks. Ted Fowler will continue to stay out here for a whole nother month and finish taking the does that we got to take. Hey, man, let's talk a little bit about business. A few plugs before we get to the show. This show is me and Ted Fowler rolling around in my 96 Ford Bronco, having a Bloody Mary, Broken Skull Ranch style. That means it was full of vodka, shooting the breeze and reflecting on 2016 and reflecting on this past hunting season.
Hey, this is Adam Carolla from The Adam Carolla Show. Bet Online continues to be your #1 source for all your football betting action. Bet Online has more ways to get in and stay in on action, with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From every NFL and college game to MLB, UFC, and NHL, futures as well. Bet Online remains your choice for sports wagering info. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. In between games, head over to BetOnline's casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline. The game starts here.
All right, I'm rolling around the Ford Bronco 1996 model. It's green and silver. I bought this thing off eBay many, many years ago. My wife is not very fond of the color scheme, but I love it. Sitting in the shotgun passenger seat is my buddy Ted Fowler, 361. We're rolling mobile. I think we've done this a time or two in the past. I've got the volume turned down on my recording meter, so we try to take out some of the ambient noise as we ride down the gravel dirt roads here at the Broken Skull Ranch. This is the last family-friendly show of 2016. I thought of no better way to wrap up the family-friendly year than with my buddy Ted Fowler rolling down the roads. Inside the Bronco, we got some Leica range-finding binoculars. We got a video camera in case we see an outstanding deer. I got my number one gun, Remington Camouflage 308 with a Leopold scope. And we're rolling with a couple of Broken Skull Ranch Bloody Marys just to give us a little bit of creative impetus. Teddy, how you feeling this morning? Are you feeling creative all? Do you have anything to talk about as we wrap up the year of 2016?
I feel phenomenal. I'll tell you what, Kristen may not be too chilly red hot on the paint job on this thing. I'm not too jazzed about the fact that a snake lives up underneath the dashboard myself.
Yeah, but god dang, I told Teddy, man, I was sitting there struggling for a podcast, and, I'm going to get back to Los Angeles here in about 2 weeks. We're scheduled to get on back around the first 2 weeks of January. I got to start getting back to the swing of things, getting some different guests out here on the podcast. It's been a blast talking to you so much and hunting so much with you. But when we came out here to get in the Bronco, I looked out the window, and of course, par for the course, had 2 flat tires. Back left tire and the front right tire. And we were doing pretty good on the tire situation until my dad got in my Bronco, locked the keys in it, and proceeded to drove this thing all off the road. Teddy, you can ride around out here and stay on the roads, and anything you bring. I could be out here in my wife's BMW X5 and not get a flat tire if I stay on the roads, but my father gets out there in my number one rig, and god dang, we got headaches, hassles, and all kinds of stuff out here. I'm going to get a shirt that says Broken Skull Ranch, home with a flat tire, because there's 2 flats on this thing. I had a flat on my utility trailer, which wasn't my dad's fault, and me and Teddy, just for good measure, we aired up the tires and the thing, and then we put in the compressor tank in the back of the Bronco there in case we go down and have a flat tire. We're not going to be stranded 4 miles from the camp and have to walk back, because Teddy, I might have to pull up a hamstring on that one and send you on in for the damn Kawasaki mule to bring us back to camp.
I'm thinking of striking up another side business, Ted's Tires. Yeah, as much as we have hassles out here. Yeah, and the one time I decided to wear my flip-flops out with you instead of snake boots, it'd be the time we break down and I got to walk back.
Dude, I was wondering who's more redneck, me or you, because I just got on camouflage shorts, a dry-fit black cut-off sleeve T-shirt, and then you roll up in a pair of jeans with about 30 holes in them. And I know that those weren't the kind of designer jeans that you buy at the store where they make the holes for you and charge you for them. No. And then on top of that, you're wearing flip-flops, but you got your socks on. So you got your flip through your fucking, you got your divider thing splitting your big toe and the rest of your toes on your sock. That's about as redneck as you can get.
You never know when a cold front is going to blow through here.
Well, I tell you what, we had some good weather there for a while. It was about 10 days worth. It was overcast. It was nice and cool. A couple times it hit in the 30s, and then it would stay in the 60s. And now we're back to status quo. We've got some cloud cover here. It's not dead dog hot like it was yesterday.
No.
God dang it, man. I just don't know what's happening to all the coldness that used to be in South Texas back in the day. I'm a big proponent. A lot of people got mad at me the other day when I said I still don't believe we landed on the moon, and someone saw fit to correct me when they called me an idiot and said it was 1969, not 1962. So I stand corrected on the date. Still don't believe we was there, but god dang, I'm a big believer in global warming, because when I was a kid growing up in South Texas, and I lived in Texas almost my whole life, it was a lot colder back then. Teddy, you come from Arizona. How long you been in the great state of Texas? And can you vouch for any kind of the heat or cooling trends that you've seen?
Ben, I've been here about 12 years, and it's definitely remaining warmer longer. I mean, here it is, the tail end of December, and we're squawking because we can't get the AC on in the Bronco. I mean, would you ever have thought that we would need that during hunting season?
Well, the thing is, I just had a mechanic out here. He's working on all my stuff. And then the last thing that I got him to do, my dad's Bronco wouldn't start. He fixed that thing in 5 minutes. I thought we needed a new starter.
Right.
He just got up underneath the hood, and he's very honest, which is unbelievable. You find an honest mechanic out here in the middle of nowhere, and he knows what he's talking about. And of all the things, I forgot to tell him, hey, man, check the AC unit on my green and silver Bronco, because I didn't think we was going to need it. As we ride and record this, it's December 26th. Yesterday was Christmas. And again, dude, I won't need a jacket for the rest of the year looking at the forecast.
Correct.
That's piss poor.
We're supposed to have a little front come through Wednesday night or Thursday morning where the high is going to be down to 62. You know, the high yesterday was, 82, 83, something like that?
No, it's too damn hot for me.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you been keeping up with what's going on in the real world? Because since I've come out here, with all the work we're doing, Cousin Neil and you and me was cutting down that corral. My older brother Scott's over there cutting them pipes right now. Been in the tractor mowing. We've been hunting from daylight to dawn, damn near every single day, in the morning and in the evenings, and then working. I ain't even had a chance to work out. I look like a piece of trash. How you feeling about right now?
Man, I may have been a little tipsy this morning when I went to the deer blind, to be perfectly honest with you.
Did y'all stay up late over?
I had a couple more just to, kind of wind down from the evening's event after I said goodnight to everybody. So, yeah, it was between 11 and midnight that I shut it off.
Man, I tell you what, I was planning on getting an early night in, and then everybody went home because, we was trying to wrap it up. We got some more guests coming out. Mitch, my wife's brother who guides in Nevada, is coming down on Wednesday, and, man, that guy is a pure mountain man. He's a ton of fun and super knowledgeable about the outdoors, so we're looking forward to kicking it up with him. I'm trying to save a little bit for when he gets down here because I'm pretty damn burnt out. I got a call from the Smithsonian Institute the other day that said, hey, man, you still going to donate your liver when you kick a bucket? Yeah, you're going to put it right there on that by that moon rock from the lunar landing because it's going to look like about the same damn thing.
Either that or Ripley's, believe it or not, one of the two.
As been, well, yesterday, had an unfortunate event come out. There was a deer taken that didn't need to be taken. So that's what my night entailed. I went back out with my 8x10 or 8x11.5 legal paper, however big legal paper is. I guess it probably changed from 62 to 69 when I got my moon dates confused. But I went back out to the cooler and remeasured that deer.
Yeah.
And I took a drink out there. I was drinking Crown Black and water. We're going down a gravel road right now. Let me see if I can get over here in the grass. I remeasured that deer, and it was just a hell of a deer, and I would have liked that deer to have been out in the field a good another year.
Correct. Yeah, it was not quite his time to leave.
And so, trying to...
A lot like George Michael. We lost...
You know what? That was a real shocker for George Michael to be gone at 53. And, hell, I didn't really listen to a whole lot of George Michael's music, but, when Wham! First came out, way back in the day with the Wake Me Up Before You Go. I mean, those guys had a great career, and George Michael was a hell of a talented singer. And, man, it's sad that the guy left. What, they said he has a heart attack?
Yeah.
Man, 53 is young for a cat like that to go from a heart attack.
Correct.
I mean, and, dude, he was over. I mean, Wham was over, and then those guys broke up, and George Michael continued. But I don't know what happened to him. But it's just sad to see that the cat left us so soon. He was a very talented guy.
He didn't have much of a reputation as a drug user, did he?
I don't know anything about the man other than the fact that, back in the day, good-looking dude, good entertainer, great voice, catchy songs.
Yeah, dude, 53 and to have a heart attack, that is way too young.
So I'm sitting there sipping on a damn Broken Skull Bloody Mary. Almost said, here's one of them guys leaves. Okay, well, hell, George lasts 53. I mean, I got to outlast him. With due respect, shout out to everybody that was a George Michael fan and to his family, respects for the guy. But like when Prince, left us, last year, when was it? Didn't expect that guy to go so soon. I think there was a lot of painkillers and stuff involved in that one.
Yeah.
I ain't on no painkillers, but man, if these Bloody Marys don't get me, the margaritas will.
Well, Michael Jackson, how old was he when he died?
I don't know, was he 55?
Yeah.
But he was like I don't know if you would say he was a young 55 or an old 55, because the guy has seeming to me just watch his performance, so much energy. I mean, to me, he was one of the greatest talents that was ever in the music business to begin with. There'll never be another Michael Jackson. Sometimes that Bruno Mars guy reminds me of Michael Jackson, and maybe he's influenced by him, and I know Bruno's trying to be his own guy, and he's a very talented guy, but, dude, there's one Michael Jackson, and there'll never be another one. I just thought, I remember we used to ride around in Edna, Texas. I told this story before. My buddy, his brother, had a Malibu Classic and maroon two-door, and that was when the Off the Wall album came out with Michael Jackson. We'd ride around the main streets of Edna, Texas, listening to Off the Wall, and, you know, he would have other albums that would be bigger than that, the Thriller and all that, some of the other stuff, but to me, the Off the Wall one was the one that broke him out, and that was, to me, his best work.
You know what? I applaud his musical talent. I didn't particularly care, or I didn't listen to his music, you know, but I know the guy was a real showman, that's for sure. I'll tell you, I had no idea that the entertainment industry was so, you know, taxing on one's health. If we do this next year, I'm going to have to renegotiate my podcasting contract with you to include some type of wellness program.
Well, I tell you what, the entertainment industry in general, from pro wrestling on up to acting or singing, touring, whatever, whether you're a rock star, a movie star, a professional wrestling star, a sports entertainer star, or even boxer, or football players. I mean, if you just live such an extreme life, you get the extreme things that are attached with it. And it's like I always used to tell people, pro wrestling or an entertainment business, many times you're living three lives in one body. From a wrestling standpoint, number one, you're a pro athlete. Also, you're a rock star because everybody wants to party with you. On the other hand, you're also a truck driver because you're driving yourself to all these places. So, man, once you get into all those different kinds of activities that are, you're burning the candle at two and three ends. And I did that for a long time, and so you might as well just get in the entertainment industry, Teddy. Can you sing? Can you play the tambourine? There's always that guy on stage in one of the big bands who plays the tambourine. That's the guy you think, really? Are you crapping me? He's going to stand there and sing backup without even a microphone. He's playing a tambourine on his leg. I could be that guy.
With the old BSR band, yeah, I'll get out front and do a little break into a little soft shoe routine I've been working on. In my flip-flops and my socks.
The Steve Austin Show. The Steve Austin Show.
What will you do when you return? See, here's the thing. I got to leave out here in about 2 weeks. You're going to spend a whole nother month out here continuing to hunt. You're probably going to back off the pace a little bit once I leave.
Yeah.
I mean, with respect to drinking.
Yeah, no, I like partying with you, but it's healthier when you leave.
It's healthier for me when I leave, too. But there's something just about being out here in the outdoors. It just changes you. It makes you more coarse. It makes you more callous. And it makes you more thirsty for alcoholic beverages.
Correct.
I mean, it just goes hand in hand. I mean, I don't know how all the farmers and ranchers are complete alcoholics because for some reason I'm driven to drink out here. And right now I'm driving while I drink. But I'm only going 5 miles an hour. And I'm going to be quite frank with you. We're not wearing our seatbelts. Thank God this is a 1996 Ford Bronco. Look at that, Evelina.
Yep.
Thank God this is a 1996 Ford Bronco, and it's not one of those vehicles that every 2 miles, if you're not wearing your seatbelt on, it starts beeping like crazy. And it's like, man, all this technology is great. But how about if you're just going to leave the decision-making, if I want to put that seatbelt on, I will. Or you do the old click back behind you so it's engaged and it doesn't know whether you got the seatbelt on or not. It's just made that connection.
Yeah, and then you got that thing rubbing a hole in your hip the whole time, you know, when you click it behind you.
Now, I understand the whole click it or ticket campaign coming out of Cali because I do believe in wearing my seatbelt there. And when I'm in Texas, I mean, I don't know, what's the seatbelt laws in Texas?
Oh, yeah, you got to buckle up.
Yeah, I'll buckle up for safety when I get in my truck. But again, my 2003 pickup, it don't do that. It'll come on one time, and then it'll stop. But on those newer technology vehicles that I lease, them damn things come on every 3 or 4 minutes.
I wonder if that's mandated by the government.
Oh, of course it is.
You know? Yeah, I mean, that's irritating. You ought to be able to turn that thing on or off, but, you know, it is what it is. This was about where the rattlesnake was.
moment of silence for the rattlesnake that was taken by a 308 fired by Ted Fowler 361.
At extremely close range.
We're riding down to a deer stand we call Tombstone. And Tombstone is about 150 yards in front of Lake Tombstone, and that's where Gator lives. I came down here the other day with something for Al to eat that was taken in the field. And I guess you ate it because it ain't no longer there. Have you been feeding Al?
I have. We tried to feed him what was left over, that ham.
Honey-baked ham?
Yeah. He didn't particularly care for that. I think he's more along the sushi line of food products. He wants stuff that hasn't been cooked. He's a big fan of raw food.
Well, I'm telling you what. Hey, a big shout out to Cold Steel Knives out there in Ventura, California. Anytime, anywhere, they make the strongest, sharpest knives in the world. But they sent to 2 honey-baked hams, and I believe we've already went through one of them. It was spectacular. We're saving that other one for when Mitch gets here. And you know what? Dude, prior to getting that honey-baked ham, I'm not really a ham guy. When they got, like, traditional Christmas, stuff out, you got the turkey, and hey, there's the ham. Dude, I think I ate more of that ham than anybody that was there. And then, of course, the next day we used it to make Reuben sandwiches. That's one of our traditions. That was some good-ass ham.
Oh, you know what, man? I love ham. Christmas, Thanksgiving, whenever. I'm not a big turkey guy at all.
What's good about our Christmas dinner this year was it was all Mexican food. It was enchilada casserole. Man, we had dozens and dozens of tamales, all kinds of chili, cheese, queso dip. I mean, everything that you looked at had 1,000 calories a serving in it, and I piled it on. I was going to bring you a big-ass plate, but, dude, you had brought down like 9 dozen tamales, so since basically my meal was the same as what you had brought down from that guy in Rockport, thank you very much. Man, I had my last 3 tamales for my midday lunch today, and if I don't eat another tamale for at least another couple of months, I'll be good, because god dang, as much as I love those things ain't nothing but pure fat.
Well, I wish you had brought me down a plate, because I about starved to death, and that was just, an oversight on my part, because I didn't go with you guys to Christmas dinner because I've got my 3 dogs, you got your 2 dogs. There's already 2 dogs there at the house, and I thought it would just be a 3-ring circus, to bring my pointers, so I stayed here. And I'm so used to the routine that we're in, cook eggs for breakfast, make a sandwich for lunch, and then I go over to your guys' house after the hunt for dinner. Yeah. So when you guys got back, I come over to your house, I sat in the chair like I always do, and I looked in the kitchen, and there's not a single pot or pan out on the stove, and I'm like, oh, man. And I was looking for something under foil, about 7 different plates, because you guys know I don't want my stuff to touch. I didn't see any of that, and I'm like, I just, I assumed that Kristen was going to cook something, and I assumed incorrectly. So, had a couple of beers, and I was like, well, I'm heading home early. I'm going over to my place.
Man, we had loaded up our gullet so much of that damn Christmas dinner that I didn't need supper. And I think I had like 3 or 4 tamales left from the batch you and me was eating prior. So, yeah, you got you got hammered on that deal, not in a good way.
Oh, I went over to the house and got one of those instant like ramen noodle meals, and whipped that up. And your brother comes walking in, and he looked at me. I'm like, man, I forgot you guys ate. I'm starved to death. Yeah. That was my Christmas dinner.
He made a skillet full of stew the other night. Did you eat any of that stew?
No, dude. Did you see how much stuff was interacting in in there? No.
Tell me about the interaction. What?
Dude, there was carrots and celery and potatoes and tomatoes and deer meat and whatever kind of broth he had percolating on the stove, all morning. No, that was way too busy for me.
Well, I saw it sitting because he was kind enough to at least go through the paces and make something and bring it over, but I don't think anybody touched that stuff with a 10-foot fork. And I don't think he did either, because I think he was eating on what we ate.
He kind of ate on that most of the day. I didn't know what he was doing.
Well, you ate some of my wife's soup the other day. She makes a damn good soup, stew, whatever the hell you want to call it. What was the defining factor to get you to sample that stew? Because you got all the vegetables and everything in there touching as well.
Well, that was more soup than anything, because it had cabbage and cauliflower floating around in it. And all I had was the broth. I didn't have any of the hard products that were in there. I just had a little of the broth.
Well,
I had a couple of, because she feeds me all the time, man. You can't snub the cook. I'm smart enough to know that much.
This November, action is free on Pluto TV. Go on the run with Jack Reacher.
Every suspect was a train killer.
Then buckle up for Drive, World War Z,
Every human being we save is one less to fight.
and Charlie's Angels.
Damn, I hate to fly.
Launch into sci-fi adventure with The Fifth Element and laugh through the mayhem in Tropic Thunder.
What is going on here?
All the thrills, all for free. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
And we're rolling down the west fence line. We'll head toward the southwest corner. I saw a deer down here. I think I videoed him from the west fence line about a mile back several times. And that deer was wide. I couldn't really see much of his horn. And I got a doe yesterday at Turnbuckle, and I decided to ride around. And I found you over there on the east side. You had just taken down was that a 10-point buck?
Yeah.
10-point buck, and I passed you and said, hey, man, what's going on? We traded stories about what happened. So I was going to come down here to the southwest corner and see what's been going on down here, because after I shot those 2 cull bucks, I thought, I was going to let the place kind of simmer down a little bit. So I climbed up in there, and that wide buck was out there, and he had his butt facing towards me, and he was, bent down eating corn. And so I was whistling, and it was almost dark. Of course, I forgot my video camera. But that deer had to be outside. He had to be 23 inches outside, at least. But his tines weren't real long. All of his G's were probably anywhere between 4 and 6 inches long, but I couldn't get an age on him either because it's so dark. And so I'm going to take my microphone away from my mouth so I can whistle, but I was giving him the old... I was giving him that. I mean, more than that. And I was in that deer stand, and I had my chin rested on the shelf. And I was whistling so loud that the sound was reverberating back or echoing back into my ears. And I made my ears start ringing because I was whistling so damn loud. So then I stuck my fingers in my ears while I was whistling for the sapsucker to get his ass to turn around so I could get a good view of him.
You've got a video feature on your iPhone, right?
Yeah, but you can't video 130 yards away.
No, I'm talking about videoing yourself sitting there in the blind. I'm smelling YouTube money, mister.
Yeah, I'm going to make me a YouTube account of me sitting in a deer stand. God dang, if that deer finally, I turned him around a little bit and never really got a good look at him. And sure enough, after I'd whistled enough, he was like, hey, this idiot with the bald head and goatee's whistling at me so much it's hurting my ears. I'm going to turn around and walk straight away from him so he still can't see me. So he kayfabed all the way down the line, but I think that's the deer that I found on that west fence line in that tall grass. And he's nothing to brag about, but just how wide he is. But we're not going to do anything with him. We'll carry him on for next year. But it was a real interesting buck, and it's a buck that I hadn't seen so far this year.
Yeah, that width and the main beam length that goes along with being wide is a very desirable trait that you'd like to pass on to the rest of the herd.
You'd like to see those G's get longer so I can start getting up on the Boone and Crockett score. At the end of the video, the close of the show, I'm going to give you guys something to watch. It's how to score a deer. And so it's about a 9-minute video, give or take. It's in the close of the show. And when you're looking at a deer, or when Teddy and I are looking at these deer, we're trying to think, okay, what needs to stay, what needs to go if we're trying to continue our management program here with our whitetail deer at the ranch, which we are. And so there's a lot of thought and a lot of video and a lot of time that goes into the decision-making process when we decide to take a deer. And Teddy made a case for the deer he took last night, and I was like, well, at first I was like, I don't know if he's copacetic on this one. And I saw the video when I saw the deer on the ground. I was like, yeah, you're right, that deer 100% needed to go.
Well, we agreed on it before I pulled the trigger. So yeah, it wasn't like we took a chance and said, well, rolling the dice and hopefully Steve approves of this. No, I mean, I brought back the video and we watched it a couple of times and pointed out more bad than good, so he got a thumbs down, and that was it.
And so we didn't want that deer passing on our genetics, and the deer we're trying to leave out in the herd are the ones that we want passing on our genetics. And then through the continuation of this process, and next year will be 10 years going, 9 years at this point, and we, on our original aerial flyover, we were designated to take 15 bucks. Right now we are at
14.
We're at 14 bucks.
Yeah.
I got 5 extra tags. As Ted and I were discussing, there's a couple of other deer that really need to go just because that's not what we want out here. We still have to be very careful to take, X amount of deer out of each age group so we don't shoot a hole in any age group. And then we were scheduled to take 24 does.
24, yes, sir.
And we got 5 extra tags. I do believe, and I hate taking does, but I think we're heavier on the does than we need to be, so I think we will exercise the extra 5 tags.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, I'm not real jazzed about taking does either, but you know what? If we don't do our management, then it's a waste of time, money, effort, everything.
Well, along with the fact that so many of the does this year are kicking out twin fawns.
Yeah.
So then you've got a 2-for-1. So now you've got 3 extra deer instead of just 2 extra deer. If the doe stays and she has 1 fawn, these does are kicking out 2, and all of a sudden you start adding that up with the tremendous survival rate that we've been able to have out here. Overpopulation, too many does.
I mean, it was a great year with all the rainfall, the grasses. I mean, we're driving down the road now that's been cut, a month ago?
Yeah.
And it's already growing back and it's green. And here it is, the tail end of December. They've got so much to eat, and, the environment is so conducive to, good, healthy living on their part. A doe that drops 2 fawns and a bunch of them is just going to create more work for us next year if we don't control it now.
Man, but one of the things that's been surprising to me, because we had so much rain here, we were late cutting a lot of grass. You had most of the perimeter, most of the senderos cut, and then we cut some other things. I cut the entrance and the front of the house a few weeks ago for my hydraulics went out on my Komodo tractor. But dude, it's like right now we're on the west side. As soon as we get on the south side, there's so much grass that we haven't even worn our tracks back in on the road yet. Now back in a drought, you had 2 lanes that were going down. That's where your tire tracks are. And if you get on that south side, that the grass grow, there's been so much prolific rain that you can't even see where the road is supposed to be, and we know where the roads are. So it was part of my process was if I didn't have anything to do with the hydraulics being out of the tractor, I would just ride the roads, just try to wear them back in.
Oh, yeah, dude. We've been driving around a bunch, and you're absolutely right. I mean, this used to be just a 2-track dirt road that we're on, and it's still a ton of grass. It was a good year all the way around, and the deer herd reflects, the kind of year we had.
The rut just kicked on. I think the rut kicked in when the bucks really start chasing the does about a week or so ago. But right now, I think would you say it's hot and heavy?
I would say it's real hot and heavy, yes, sir.
Anything surprised you? Okay, well, here's one thing that surprised me. I haven't seen as many fights as I have in the last few years.
Dude, you're absolutely right. I filmed one fight a couple of weeks ago, and it was a good one. But no, I haven't seen as many fights. And you know what? I think that is a testament to us getting our buck to doe ratio where it needs to be.
But it's always been close. But here's the thing. I think in taking out a couple of the 9 points that were 5.5 years old, that every time they came in was with that attitude that they were looking to kick the crap out of any 10 point. I mean, they were the dominant bucks.
Correct.
And I think part of that has been due to the fact that we took out the dominant bucks that displayed the attitude that were the bucks that we didn't want breeding, but they were going to kick the living hell out of anything else just because you can look at body language. Hey, they might have got their ass whipped, but they're fighting for breeding rights, and we don't want them breeding.
I'll tell you what, that's a funny thing to witness is the posturing of those deer and, their body movements and how a bigger horned deer will give way to a smaller, more aggressive buck. And you sit there in the stands and go, dude, you could beat the tar out of him. But some of those bigger bucks are, a little passive on that. They're lovers, not fighters.
That's 100% correct. And boy, I tell you what, those ones that come in with that attitude, you got to see it, because I call it the John Wayne walk, because they kind of come in just kind of sideways and they're looking at the sides of their eyes, and they got their ears either laid back or flared back, and then they'll bristle up so they look bigger than they actually are. And holy smokes, I mean, dude, it is on.
That is so cool when they bristle up, because normally they're a tannish gray, and then when they bristle up, it goes to chocolate brown. They look like a little poodle. When that
poodle. With
big
sharp
poodle.
horns. Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
But they kind of cock their head to the side and kind of looking out the side of their eye as they kind of do-si-do around the other one, going, hey, dude, are we going to hook this up or not?
And then, it might take them just a little bit. And here's the thing, what I always kind of like, for the most part, they'll do a little do-si-do, and it might last a little bit longer than other times, but then when it starts, it's on.
Yeah.
And they are locked, and they get their legs spread, low center of gravity, and God dang it, you see some of those deer. Well, I saw one of them get flipped over an entire gigantic bush last year, literally flipped 5 feet in the air, and they'll get their necks cranked at such extreme angles. You think, God dang, he's going to break that MFer's neck.
Yeah.
And just a calamity. And then two bucks will be fighting, and like the video that Ted shot the other day, a third buck was watching because the first two bucks started fighting. This guy wanted in.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, I want some of that. And it's a three-way.
Yeah. Well, remember a couple of years ago, I was at where was I? No, I was at Titanic, and I shot that buck, and I put the gun down, put the camera down, and the other buck that was the dominant buck in that area came up, and I've already dispatched the one buck. He's laying on the ground. That dominant smaller horn buck come up and started to gore him as he was laying there on the ground. Yeah, I mean they're just feisty when it comes to the rut.
Well, I tell you what, you talk about aggressive and mean spirit.
Yeah.
It's like you're putting the boots to guys on the ground, because that's what he's done.
That's what he's done.
He did, and the deer's still trying to kick his ass. We got here binoculars employed, southwest corner. It was like a dawn of fawn. Two fawns rolling down the south fence line. And the thing out here, Teddy, you could sit in a deer stand out here all day long, because that's what you could do. But the fact that the white-tailed deer, what is it, deciduous? I think that's the word. They eat twice a day. They like to eat in the morning, like to eat in the evening. So that's the way we hunt them, the way we do.
Dude, and you and I have when it comes to looking at deer and seeing deer, we got two different hunting styles. I go to a blind, and I stay there the whole time. I rarely move around, and I'm a big, camera guy, big video guy. I always stay there and, film. And you bounce around and going from blind to blind to blind, Yeah, so we pretty much got it covered as far as, what's on the ranch and what we know is here.
But that's the first time I've really ever done that, and it was because I've got 2 more weeks here. You'll be here another month, but we got to take X amount of does, and so we have the majority of the stands positioned so that you can sneak in them while the feeder's gone off and get in there unnoticed and be able to take multiple does from different stands, just because we got to get that work done. And so this is really the first time I've ridden around as much as I have, and doing so, it's made me learn so much more about the ranch, about the numbers of the deer, whether they're does, fawns, and bucks, young through mature, that go to the feeders, and then riding the roads as much as I've done this year, saying what does not go to the feeders. Because like I was talking to Macy Ledbetter, our wildlife biologist, he said, hey, Steve, some deer are social, some are party animals, they want to be around with the crowd, but you got those other deer that are very private, and they don't go to feeders, and they'll walk the roads. And it's funny, like we're looking at a road, a diagonal road that cuts from the south fence line over to the west fence line, and you'll see these deer that never go to the feeders. And so if you sit in all the deer stands, you still won't know what you have on the ranch, because not everything goes to the feeders. So in riding the roads as much as I have, I've just seen different behaviors of the deer, different places I'd like to set up stands because of that, and to take some of the stands off the fence line and put them more in the brush.
Dude, I just thought you were rolling around more because you're running out of patience.
No. Well, it's been interesting because I've seen so many good deer while I've been riding around. It's like these deer aren't going to the feeders.
Yeah.
And I'm not shooting out of the vehicle. I'm simply videoing.
Correct.
And glassing to see what we got.
Correct. I mean, there's parts of this ranch that, we've seen from the air, never seen it on foot, and there's deer that we have never seen. Every year it turns out to be that way. We'll see a deer and be like, who is that? And where'd that one come from?
Well, and there's been a couple of trademark deer that have happened this year, and the one we saw together was like, man, that was a 6-inch drop tine, and that was a hell of a damn deer.
Yeah.
And we'd never seen it. It was a mature buck, but that deer ain't never been to no feeder.
No.
So that's, I don't know, so just in riding around, that's been a real eye-opener for me. How many does, how many bucks stay away from those feeders? Because you think, hey, man, we'll look at it this way. The Broken Skull Ranch is 2,100 acres. You're probably looking at about 1,700 acres under high fence, shaped like a rectangle. Okay, let's talk about the 1,700 acres. Under high fence, shaped like a rectangle. We got our roadways cut in. We got a couple of food plots. We have some senderos. You're looking at about 80% brush coverage, 20% stuff that we can see.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, could you put a different percentage onto than that?
No. I mean, with the
So
roads,
that's so much coverage.
Yeah. With the roads and the food plots that are cut, or the areas in front of the blinds where the feeders go, not exactly food plots. Yeah, it's probably 20% of the surface area is mowed down to where we can see.
Man, we were flying this ranch last month we was flying it, and you get up in the air, and all of a sudden you think, man, that stuff don't look that thick from here, but all of a sudden, when you watch a white-tailed buck crashing through the brush, and we get off of them pretty quick because we don't want to disturb them, want them to hurt themselves or put them under too much stress, but just to get a good head count on them, look at the horns, and they're crashing through that brush, and they're just hauling ass. But and you sit there and you think, that brush doesn't look that thick, but then you see the struggle that deer's putting forth, and all of a sudden, you have to go walk out in that stuff to try to track one down that made it into the brush, and you get your ass cut up. Man, the Texas brush country is like, well, Mitch, my brother-in-law, Kristen's brother, who's going to come down in 2 days, he calls this the toughest land he's ever hunted in his life, and he hunts the big country, Nevada. That's tough country, and you've been up there, that Rocky Mountain, cold stuff, brutal. But just with respect to vegetation, he shot a deer out here a couple of years ago, and it went about 100 yards in the wood. By the time he got out, it looked like Freddy Krueger had got a hold of his ass. And that's when he took on a whole different respect for the brush country of South Texas.
I remember that poor guy come walking back in, and he was just tore up. The cactus. I mean, dude, you can't get through there. I mean, you can, but you definitely pay the price.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, if you're going to shoot something that's going to go off in the brush, you better have your Carhartt jacket, some thick-ass pants, some rattlesnake boots, and a pair of welding gloves, because this damn country out here will beat the tar out of you.
Well, we've been real fortunate this year. I mean, everybody's making real good quality shots, and we haven't had to track anything into the brush, any distance. I mean, we've had them roll a little bit, but nothing bad, and we haven't lost any animals either, so that's always a bonus.
Boy, there was one quality shot that I wish wouldn't happen, but that's a whole other story for an Unleashed podcast.
Whole ball game.
As I bounce across the rocky side of the east fence line. Holy smokes, Teddy, I'm looking to wrap up 2016 out here. We had a good Christmas. We didn't do nothing. We got a Christmas tree. You've seen it. This is probably our smallest Christmas tree we've done in the last few years. Last ones have been about 1.5 feet tall. I think this one struggled to meet even 12 inches tall. It was the same Christmas holiday spirit, don't get me wrong, and I hope everybody had a great Merry Christmas. How was your Christmas?
Christmas was good. I mean, although that was Christmas Eve that you guys went to Edna, or Victoria rather. No, dude, Christmas was good because you called me up and said, hey, after the morning hunt and after breakfast, dude, we're not going to work. We're just going to have some fun. We went to the range, shot guns, had a mixie or two, and just kicked back and took it easy, took the day off of work to actually come out and play. And that was a good Christmas.
It was good, but the only thing that got me, it didn't really feel like Christmas just because it was so goddamn hot. I mean, because, December.
Yeah.
You'd like it to be kind of cold with that Christmas spirit. But, I mean, we all fired down to Margarita. We all took a ride, myself, you, Chris, and my brother Scott. Thankfully, he got to come down this year.
Correct.
And hang out with us, do a little bit of hunting. But right now he's over cutting on this corral we're going to ride up on. But hell, Teddy, let's look forward into 2016 because we're going to talk again, probably do a New Year's resolution podcast maybe. If y'all send in some New Year's resolutions or some motivational speeches, we might be able to kick one of those out if you send in the emails to questions@steveaustonshow.com. If not, I'll just get back to doing my thing. I did make a call to a former wrestling friend of mine in Booker, and we'll see if he returns my call. I know I got a conversation coming up with him. I think you guys are going to get a real kick out of that podcast. All of my guests for the coming year have been lined up for January, so I got some cool people that I'm talking to. Again, it's been fun out here at the Broken Skull Ranch, and, man, this is my active vacation, Teddy.
Correct.
It is so hard. It's easy to talk to Teddy about everything that's going on out here, just shoot the breeze and just kind of just shoot from the hip and off the cuff stuff like that. And it's just so hard to do research to talk to anybody that I'd really want to talk to because you've got to do so much research. And with so much work being done out here with all the hunting, this is my vacation. But like I tell everybody that I deal with in California, my agents and stuff like that, people think, hey, yeah, Austin's down there deer hunting. This is the hardest time of my year, and I enjoy it. I'm spending time at my ranch, but I work harder out here than I do all year. But with respect to just having people that you got to do research on, just don't have time to do it. So I'll get back to all those wrestling people that I love to talk to, some more stories from the business coming up down the road. But Teddy, as I talk about my podcast heading down the road into 2017 and trying to deliver 2 cans of audio whoop-ass, I know as you fire up Ted Fowler Construction in another month, you're going to get busy. You're one of the busiest guys over at Rockport because of your business and your reputation for doing high-quality work. And if you say something's going to happen, it does. But what about your personal life? You're going to start cruising and maybe trying to chase some of the South Texas women to San Antonio, maybe get down there in Corpus, maybe go down into the valley or stick to the Rockport scene. Does 2017 see you in a serious, committed relationship? Will you ask some lucky lady, will you marry me? Any details on the specifics of the Ted Fowler romantic scene with regards to a special lady in your life?
Dude, I think your Bloody Mary must have been stronger than mine because apparently you haven't done your research on me either. No, I'll tell you, Tom.
I'm thinking Lionel Richie once, twice, 3 times a lady.
No, you could have stopped after the once. No, dude, I'm hoping to have such a prosperous year that the trim comes to me. That's how I roll. I'm going to get a couple of pictures of the redone mule and tell. Say, honey, if you play your cards right, perhaps we can roll the BSR in this thing. Yeah, get that sound bar fired up. Boom, chicka, boom, boom.
Hey, we're over at the project on the east side of the ranch where we're cutting down this corral. My brother Scott has got the whole top rail about 2/3 cut down. Someone's coming down the road. Oh, that looks like Neil coming down in his pickup.
Oh, okay.
Because I said, man, that looks like my white Chevy. I think that's Neil coming up down here. Because I'm like, man, there's somebody riding my ranch that I don't know who it is. And I got a 308 sitting here on the center console.
Yeah, we got $5,000 worth of binoculars sitting in front of us.
Yeah, we're looking like, hey, who could that be?
Yeah, pull forward. I can't see, Pick up your binoculars.
Is that a shooter?
Depends who's shooting.
No, dude, I'm ready. All I need is my passenger mirror right here. I think it's going to be Neil. He rolled in. I think my nephew, he started this job. He's wanting to cut all the bull panel off.
Looks like he's solo.
Yeah, I got my nephew Neil riding up in the pickup he chiseled off of me last year.
Boy, he shot a good deer the other day.
Boy, he did.
Yeah.
He made a good shot on it, too. An 8-point mainframe 8 with a G2 fork.
Yep.
So ended up being a 9-point, right at 20 inches wide inside. Deer was 4.5 years old. Good shot and on a good deer to get off the ranch. Well, this project is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we're going to be able to push and pull those things out of the ground if we get the hydraulics working, nudge them a few times with the bucket to start rocking them, and then we'll take them things and get them out of here, and then we'll have this whole place cleaned up.
Dude, we'll just dally a chain around them like we did down on the river and pull them up out of the ground because, they're set in concrete, but I believe they will come out pretty easy.
You talking about just hooking onto the top of them or trying to pull them up with a bucket? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just dally with the chain and then pull the bucket up. Pull them up out of the ground.
What in the hell has Neil got over here? He got a broom or a rake? He must have brought something from my brother over here, and he got a shovel.
Got a shovel.
Oh, he's talking about I think he's looking at trying to cut them things down to subgrade.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. We got to get some 411 on this before we start doing that. It'll be a decision made that was not made by the person that needs to make that decision. Yeah.
Apparently, he circumvented the chain of commands.
That reminds me of that stupid movie I did a couple of years ago called Chain of Command. God dang, I wish you hadn't reminded me of that.
Dude, you say that about a number of your movies. I think you're being awfully hard on yourself.
I deserve to be hard on myself. Calling my nephew Neil over here. He got him a damn Broken Skull Ranch shirt on. Neil, what's going on, partner?
Nothing much. We're just cutting down this fence over here with the acetylene and oxygen.
What time did you roll into the ranch?
Rolled in about 1:30.
How was it? Safe? Did you get a ticket?
No, sir. Didn't get a ticket
Did you
this time.
Get a Diablo sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper?
I got it damn fast.
Like my brother over stomping on another fire. So you got a pickaxe and a shovel in your hand. What are y'all planning on doing on that?
We're going to dig around the post and pull them up.
Well, how you going to pull them up?
Or you can do that either way.
Yeah, but how you going to pull them up? Because we ain't got to pull them with.
You got a rope or anything?
Well, I mean, those things just cemented in the ground, little brother.
Dude, make a muscle like that. Let me see.
With my left hand?
With your left hand. Like it's going to make a difference.
I'm not that. I'm sorry.
No, but you got good hair.
I do. I have great hair.
So, how long you staying for?
I'll be leaving Wednesday morning.
To your mouth, like this. There you go.
I'll be leaving Wednesday morning.
So Neil is my nephew. He's 17 years old. If y'all saw my Twitter account, Steve Austin BSR, I posted a picture of this badass. It's about almost 2 feet across circle. It's like a sign he made in his ag class, made out of stainless steel. Was it 1/4-inch steel?
It's 1/4-inch steel.
How long did it take y'all to make that?
Well, the plasma cam cut it out in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, but what about the plan and all the work going into the design?
Yeah, that took probably close to 2.5 hours, 3 hours, just trying to get the design done on the computer, and then the computer actually had to restart, so we lost all our work. We had to redesign it, redo everything we lost. So I'd say probably around a good 3 hours.
Yeah, I tell you what. Hey, man, that ag class has really been handy because you know how to weld, you know how to run a cutting torch. You taught me and Teddy both how to work the cutting torch, and we need a few more lessons probably so we don't blow ourselves up. So your senior year, when you complete this year, for your senior year, will you take ag again, and what more is there to learn?
I will continue taking ag. There's really not much more I can learn. I can just get
What about
better.
the mechanical part? Because have y'all rebuilt engines yet?
We don't do that.
Okay.
Not
you stop doing that?
Mm-hmm. We don't do that. No one does in our region.
Back in the day, I had a friend named Chad Starry. We rebuilt a lawnmower engine and a 283 small block, and both of them didn't fire up. Somehow I passed the class, so I took the same class you did, but I didn't learn how to run a cutting torch or learn how to weld, so I didn't get nothing out of it. But it's a great class to take.
It is.
And so with your academic background, I mean, you're one of the top kids in your class.
Yes, sir. Top 5.
So you're looking to go to probably college in a couple of years?
Yes,
you know what you're going to do yet?
No, sir. Not yet, but I do know I want to go to Texas A&M University.
Will you start off there or will you go JUCO first?
I'll probably go blend junior college first, save some money, and then work my way up, get my GPA up. I'll probably have a good enough one to start with, but, just take it slow, ease into it, coming from a small town.
Hey, man, you was able to take a couple of good bucks out here at the Broken Skull Ranch. You looking ready to get back in deer stand this evening?
I can't wait. I'm itching for it.
We're trying to maybe take some does out
Okay.
and do a little scouting, see if we can get Mitch on something. So we'll put a video camera in there with you and see if we can find a particular buck. You down for that?
Sounds great.
Did you bring me any tamales or anything as a surcharge for putting up with your ass?
Not this time.
God dang it. All right, that's my nephew, Neil Wiggin. He's doing hard work out here at the Broken Skull Ranch, and I always look forward to seeing his smiling face when he shows up out here. I'll see you here in a little bit.
Yes,
What do
sir.
you want to hunt this evening?
Tombstone.
Tombstones, we're going to let it go.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to take any does, and we're not going to let anything be taken out there.
Okay.
So you got run of the ranch other than that.
Okay.
We'll talk about it in the house.
Okay.
I'm glad to see you.
Sounds good. See you later.
Catch you in a little bit. My nephew, Neil Wiggin, goes riding off to help my brother Scott. That's a good young man right there.
He's a real good kid, real hard working.
Good shot, real responsible. As I fire up the Ford Bronco, I'm getting thirsty. It's time for another Broken Skull Ranch Bloody Mary. Teddy, how you doing over there?
I've been out for a while.
Well, I have too.
Yeah.
And I'm out of Bloody Mary mix, so we're going to have to switch to margaritas. You were talking before young Neil came over to the Bronco in his pewter Chevrolet pickup truck. So you're talking about letting the women come to you.
Yes, sir.
So how will you do that? Will you learn to play a musical instrument such as a clarinet?
Yeah. I'll go give me a box full of MeUndies and a clarinet.
Dude, you got to get the camouflage ones. They're the most comfortable underwear I've ever worn.
I'm going to take your word for it.
I mean, you've seen how much I've been smiling lately. It's because I'm so comfortable.
Your drawers.
Where are you going this evening?
Probably go back to Lone Star. There's a number of does there that can still go. We got to get our numbers right, man.
We got to get our numbers right.
What about you? Where are you going?
Man, I numbered does over at Turnbuckle. I think I'm going to go to Turnbuckle and maybe do one more there. I'm really waiting for Mitch to come in. Taking does is not my favorite thing to do.
No, it's not my favorite thing to do either, but I mean, we need to do it.
No, dude, when you sign on for the program, I mean, that is what it is. You got to do it.
Dude, I am excited to have Mitch come in because of all of the pranks and shenanigans we're going to play on that guy.
God dang it.
I mean, you talk about a three-ring circus between us.
And plus, we got him on home turf.
Yeah.
Because if we was the visitors out there on his turf, then he would destroy us. The fact that we got home field advantage is premier.
Correct. Yeah, we got a couple of good gags that we'll have to talk about later.
Hey, and wrapping up his podcast, anything else to add?
No, not really. Just, enjoy the time we've got out here. The weather is completely wrong for what we're trying to do, but it is what it is. You can thank global warming for that.
Hey, did you catch any flack on your Twitter account for me not believing in that we landed on the moon?
A couple of things. I get more grief from people, about my dietary, habits. Well, how do you eat a sandwich? And like I said, that's like, pasta and sauce. That's a food group. I mean, all those things stay together. You know what I mean?
Pasta and sauce is a food group?
Well, in my mind, like bread, cheese, meat, mustard, mayonnaise, stuff like that. Pickles, you don't put them on the sandwich. You got to put them off to the side. But that's its own little group.
So sandwich is a food group.
Like a set. Yeah. A set. Yeah.
Well, all right, this is Steve Austin riding down the road in a 96 Ford Bronco on a Broken Skull Ranch with Ted Fowler 361. Hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas as you return to work and go on about your lives. A lot of people just take the whole time off from here on to January 1st, but a lot of people don't have that luxury. Teddy, you got a luxury. You off to damn February, you lucky bastard.
Boy, I'm down with that.
I got to get back to Los Angeles. I got to start talking to some people on the podcast. I got a couple of meetings I got coming up. I'm looking forward to 2017. And 2016, like I said, that was a rough year. So I'm hoping 2017 is a better year. Any hopes that you look into 2017, or was 2016 copacetic for you?
No, I really.
You were busy.
Yeah, but I want to focus a lot more on my business and growing my business. I've got another prospect, believe it or not, a younger guy that wanted me to get a hold of him after the first of the year, a young carpenter there in Rockport. bring somebody else on to keep Willie in check, my number one guy. And I really want to start taking more time off during the week to go fishing,
You like fishing that much?
I like fishing that much. I like catching fish that much,
Yeah, because you just go out there and throw a lure in the water and you're catching stuff, you just ain't going to keep doing it. It's only, but, it goes with the territory because you ain't going to get them every time.
No, but those guys that I fish with, because they network so much, man, we rarely go out and get blanked. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I'd like to talk about things that are going on in the world, but I don't know what's going on in the world because I'm in Broken Skull Ranch, Texas, and I'm signing off. The close of the show is coming up, and that's all I got to say about that. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Steve Austin BSR. You can follow Ted Fowler on Twitter and Instagram at TedFowler361. And we need to put up that stand for that pop-up blind right there.
Well, he's going to cut those.
He's going to cut some steaks.
Yeah.
Teddy, anything to add?
No, just have a good year and everybody be safe out there, man. The world's getting crazier every day, so just keep your head on a swivel.
I got a long-winded email I got from somebody about traffic. I'm going to read that on the Unleashed podcast, talking about all the idiots and crazy people out there on the highways and byways of America. If you're one of them, hey, tone that down and use your blinkers and don't be crazy. If you're one of the safe drivers, watch out for all the crazy people. That's all. Goodbye. All right, everybody, it's time to wrap up this podcast and ride off into the sunset. I've got a lot of work to do out here at the Broken Skull Ranch. Before I get out there in the field, I got to give you guys something to watch. I've received countless emails of, Steve, what kind of deer are you trying to take out there at the Broken Skull Ranch, and how do you score them? How do you come up with the score? What does it all mean? Well, if you go to YouTube and type in how to score deer, you'll come up on this video. It's 9 minutes and 31 seconds long, 157,000 views, and you'll learn how to measure a white-tailed deer. You're going to look at your main beam length, your mass, your foremass measurements, your inside spread, all of your tine lengths from your G1 to however many points the deer has. So all of that stuff, inside spread, main beam length, tine length, mass, is added together to get your total number of points. And then they want to use a system where you subtract the deer's imperfections of if one side scores, let's just say one side scores 90 and the other scores 70, you would do a 20-inch deduction. I don't do that. That would give you a net score. I only use gross score. I add up all the points together. That's what the deer grew. I don't count the imperfections or lack of symmetry against the deer. I only use gross Boone and Crockett scores, and for the most part, in South Texas, that's what everybody goes on, not net. And I don't really care about entering any of my deer in a Boone and Crockett contest to begin with, but this is the measurement system which we employ out here at the ranch and pretty much in all of South Texas. I don't care about net score. It's all about the gross score. Anyway, let's don't belabor the point. It's time to take it home. The new season of Broken Skull Challenge is wrapping up. Sunday nights at CMT, 10/9 Central. All the shirts that I'm wearing on this last season of Broken Skull Challenge are at ProWrestlingTees.com/Steve Austin. And all you people over in the United Kingdom that are just now seeing the show, there's been a ton of T-shirts going over there, and I appreciate you guys supporting the show and how excited you are about it. I can't wait for you to get your hands on Season 4 and check that out. The badassery continues out at the Broken Skull Ranch, and I hope we get greenlit for another season. I'm so proud of the show, so proud of the athletes who came out this year for all of the seasons, and I'm glad to see that you guys are finally getting a chance to check out the show. If you live in the United States of America, you've got to see the final 2 episodes of this epic show. It is completely off the chain, and you will agree with me once you've seen it. Hey, I appreciate all you guys sending out all your tweets. For the Broken Skull IPA was given for a lot of Christmas gifts. The Cold Steel Broken Skull knife was a big Christmas gift for a lot of people this year. I couldn't thank everybody on Twitter. There were so many of them out there on my Twitter account, Steve Austin BSR. I'm so happy that you're happy with the products, and I appreciate your support, and I hope you will enjoy them and use them because that's what they're made to do. And if you're looking for the best IPA available in the United States of America, get the Broken Skull IPA from El Segundo Brewing Company. If you're in L.A., stop by the brewery at 140 Main Street in El Segundo. Or Cali, you can pick it up at Whole Foods and Total Wines, or order it from InsideTheCellar.com if you live in a state that they ship to. And you can find everything at BrokenSkullRanch.com, including the Broken Steel Knife by Cold Steel Knives. Folks, the 60-second AP News headlines are coming up next. Until then, my name is Steve Austin, and I will catch your ass down the road.
Download new episodes of The Steve Austin Show every Tuesday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.